you guys, I feel like I'm doing some weird Japanese artistic speed dating thing. But I'm gonna try and do this. Okay, so I wave. Okay, Genesis Tree, New York, was a collaboration with 40 individuals and groups from 8 countries, 11 US states, and 28 cities. 4,000 origami forms were made, sent to New York, and assembled by me in a 10 by 14 foot three-dimensional tree. It all started with this painting from my new mythology series. It's called The Origin of Birds. It shows a stylized tree created from the interconnection of 4 elements: fire, air, earth, and water, and then the birds representing life's diversity. Not too big, it's only about this big. Okay, so this is what happened. My New York dealer told me to expand on that idea. So this is what I came up with. It's a 6-foot 3D version of the painting. The trunk references our DNA, and the canopy opens into a ring full of colorful birds. It took 6 months for me to make all of the 3,000 forms. So I decided I actually never wanted to do that again. Oh, this is out of sequence. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to continue on. So the next version, I decided I would put the whole thing out on the internet and ask for groups. They were going to make the forms, and I would do the assembly. So in this, you see that on the right, we have students from Maine, and on the left, you have me at the Mount Sinai Children's Hospital. This was so cool. The kids had immune systems that were compromised. They couldn't leave their rooms. So over Christmas time, we taught them how to make origami with their parents with clean paper. So this is a group from South India. This is a group from Cathedral Square in Burlington. Down there is Kentucky. And then this awesome anime box from Japan. So the idea had been to use colorful magazine paper. But in fact, the cool part is that everybody brought their own ideas. So these are our kids from Barranquilla, Colombia, who signed a lot of their cubes, and they wrote me poems. We have another Tibetan refugee group, and then we have our own Waldorf school there with our whole group of cranes that they made. So we had thousands and thousands of these come in. What truly astonished me was that none of the collaborators dropped out. 40 signed up to do this in October, and in February, all 40 mailed their contributions to New York for assembly. As you can tell, we had to inflate them all and then separate them by color. I had help. This amazing teacher, Penny Arnold, twice gave up her precious Saturdays and brought student volunteers. Their school from the Bronx contributed 300 cubes, and these recent immigrants from Latin and South America were just amazingly generous with their time. So oh wow, this is really out of sequence. Okay, so here you can see the way this assembly happened. This was like the first 3 days in. The middle section is about a week done, and the final one is the full tree. Each strand had to be hung on filament with a silicone plug. So here's a sampling of some of the different cubes. At the top you have Abu Dhabi. Over on the other side you have a Nepali cube. We have Avatar, the movie, over a Jordanian village. We have some funky fingernails at the top. So, like the first version, the pieces at the periphery would open up and they would blossom and the birds would come out, or at least they would appear to come out. So what you see here is this unbelievable jumble of color that somehow managed to make a cohesive whole. It was just incredible. So take a really close look at these birds. These were made by local Vermonter Julie Avalock. She decided to make hers from cloth. First she had to cut them, then she had to wash the fabric, then starch the textile to mimic paper, then she had to iron each fold to make her 25 cranes. I know, they're crazy. So here are some of the 4 big birds. The red firebird is based on a dragon and it has a tail of parrots. The purple airbird is an eagle and its tail is made of cranes. The earth bird is a hawk and it has a tail of swallows. There's also a blue water bird with a pelican body and baby duckback. The big birds are made from collaged paper, as you can see here. See, again, you can sort of see how previous images that you've seen have all been collaged together, tinted, and then I printed out the paper to make the big birds. I'm hoping the next, yes, okay. So this one, you can see a close-up of this paper being folded up. This is a small one of the tail birds, and next to it you see the big version. It's 2 feet long, and there are 12 of the swallows on the tail. And Sarah from Mount Sinai is never wearing that shirt again, ever. We could not have done this without the volunteers at every stage. There's just no way those 4,000 forms could have been hung without them. Awesome New Yorker Rory Hayden and our own Whitney Dahl, who's in the room right now, developed serious Zen to measure, cut, and bead hundreds and hundreds of yards of the filament. So this is the full tree. There is enormous diversity within its branches, and I freaking love the metaphor. Swirling around each other, not all those cubes are exemplary examples of folding, and not all those images are compatible, but they are parts of a larger whole, and the whole is freaking beautiful. It opened in New York on the Norihame Gallery's 5th Avenue Gallery, and it was a total blast. Many of the contributors came up to find their cubes. Some of them are still coming. It's still up until the end of this month. Last week, students from the Waldorf School went down and did the tree visit. So ultimately, what I can take away from this 8-month roller coaster ride of social media is that there is can be no separation between your personal life and your artwork. Really good projects completely take you over, but if you roll with it, it can kind of make your life better. Okay, so thanks.